I think we're good. Yeah, let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome to Gear Talk episode 122. Is it working yet? Oh, is it? Uh-oh. Hello, hello. Yes, it is working. It looks like the whole intro missed out because YouTube didn't start the stream right. It looks like it's working. All right, it's working. Sorry, everyone. We usually have a little intro, and I was talking a little bit, and it disappeared. So I'll start over. I'll start over with the whole thing. You know what it did is because I clicked the start stream, and then I switched over to my OBS, which is the streaming software that I use, and I click start on the OBS. So that I can play the intro, the 20-second countdown. And I bet what happened is when I clicked in the browser to start the stream, I control-tabbed over to the other app so quick that the response from the server to start the stream didn't get called yet. So then when I jumped back over to Chrome after doing my intro, it started the stream. I didn't touch anything. So apparently that's what happened. Really sorry that you missed all that. But I'll share it again. I'm doing great. I hope you're doing great. It is a great Wednesday night. It's a little cold here in North Carolina, but we are getting used to it. It is 20s in the morning, which is pretty cold for us, but we'll get through it. It is much colder than it was, and it's going to be hotter in summers. We actually, from an agricultural perspective, have moved zones to something that is a little hotter, which means that we can't grow as many things as we used to, which is kind of weird. I'm not really a garden guy, but I do appreciate it, and we usually have a little garden, especially tomatoes. Tomatoes in the backyard, if you can grow tomatoes where you live, the best bang for your buck in my eyes. Aside from herbs, of course, basil and things like that. Tomatoes, they're so expensive in the stores. And if you buy tomatoes at the store, they're usually crap. So if you can grow your own tomatoes, whether they're cherry tomatoes or beefsteak tomatoes or some of the heirloom styles, Roma tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes, best thing that you can do. And they don't take up a ton of space. Just get yourself a nice planter bed or a pot or something like that. You can easily grow some tomatoes. You can even get the plants, $3 or $4 for plants. You don't have to start from seeds. It is a great thing to do. My kids especially love going out in the backyard and eating all of the cherry tomatoes from the vine. So it's a nice thing to do. Teach your kids where your food comes from, and it's the best quality, best flavor tomatoes you're ever going to have. Anyway, I was telling people before the stream started somehow, I was talking to myself, we are going to be going out to Winter Clash. So I haven't announced this publicly yet, but we will be having a booth for Standard, and we're very excited to be out there. I've never gone to Winter Clash, so I'm really looking forward to it. And I don't go to Europe ever, so if you are going to be going to Winter Clash, would love to meet you not only at the booth, but I was thinking maybe we could do some sort of a meetup, some sort of informal thing where maybe we set a time and a spot where everybody can just come and hang out, and get a shot, the pictures, some clips, maybe put a little edit together, something like that. I love meeting people, and I talk with a lot of people in Europe through this channel, and through everything else. And I don't get an opportunity to meet people in person very often, so really looking forward to seeing you. If you are in Europe and you are planning on coming out, definitely spend some time, come on up and say hey to us at the booth. Keep your ears peeled and your eyes peeled for an announcement for a meetup. We'll probably do that. I think it's an end of February, so we'll probably do that in January, start setting a date and a time. But yeah, really looking forward to meeting people. If you're on the fence, hopefully this is a thing that will help push you over the fence to get out there. It is one of those great events, and obviously I haven't been, but it's great to go to big blading events because you get to see people who are really into the things that you do. And you get to meet people who you probably wouldn't have conversations with otherwise. But now, because you have that thing in common, you've got that icebreaker, and you don't have You don't have to be weird about it. You don't have to feel awkward. You can just say, hey, nice skates, or I like that grabbed Macchiota forward that you did. And you have an instant conversation, instant at ease, your old friends, and you can talk about whatever. So it is a great opportunity to hang out with other rollerbladers. Looking forward to meeting you if you are coming out. Definitely stop by the booth and stay tuned for an announcement about a meetup. I think it would be a really fun thing to do. All right. I think we're good. Let's get started, officially get started. Now that the stream is back, let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome to Gear Talk episode 122. Is it 122? I think it's 122. Gear Talk is the show that I do every other week where we talk about the geekier side of rollerblading. If you know the difference between 76 and 80, if you know the difference between 82 and 85 and 76, you've come to the right place. Those are sizes of wheels and durometers of wheels. And believe it or not, some soft durometers are out there. I'm an aggressive guy. We deal with 88A, 90A, 92A, maybe 95A, maybe 85A. Anything lower than that feels super soft. But have I got news for you? That's not soft. Anyway, Gear Talk is the show where we break down the weirdness about rollerblades and we try to help you dial in your setup so that every time you go out and skate, you have a really great experience. You can't blame the gear, you can't blame your skates, you can only blame yourself. We're going to make sure that your wheels spin freely, that your boots are dialed in so that they fit like a glove, and if they don't, we'll help you figure out what boots, what liner combination you need so that you can have the best skate possible. We love skating. There's nothing better than just putting wheels on your feet and going out there and having a good time. It is extremely freeing, especially when the weather cooperates, to go out and explore your town and just have a good time, jump over some things, skate backwards, do some grinds, whatever you want to do, just have fun with wheels on your feet. Like we always do, we want to thank our friends over at thehelmetinitiative.org for helping us with our helmet giveaway. When you go out and skate, it is very important that you put a helmet on. I don't want anybody ending up in a coma, anybody falling and hitting their head. I heard from somebody just last week who fell and hit their head pretty hard. And thankfully they were wearing a helmet. Absolutely no issue. They still were a little shaken up, obviously, because hitting your head sucks. But imagine how bad that would be if you weren't wearing a helmet. A helmet is a little piece of insurance that you can take out so that when you hit your head, and you will hit your head eventually, when you hit your head, the damage that you do to your brain will be minimal. That's all we're looking for. It's hard to skate without falling down. Even the best skaters, especially when they're trying difficult tricks, they fall down. And sometimes they end up twisting wrong and they hurt themselves. Sometimes they slip out and they'll brace themselves wrong. Accidents happen to even the best skaters. I have a lot of great skater friends who have hit their head either on a gap or just skating down the street, and it ends up with them having a concussion or ending up in the hospital. I don't want that to happen to anybody. This is supposed to be a fun pastime that we all enjoy at our own pace whenever we want. It sucks to think that it can be an extremely dangerous sport, but sometimes you fall down and you hurt yourself, and I don't want anybody to get hurt. Best way to prevent that, wear yourself a helmet. If you need a helmet, we are giving away one helmet for every episode of Gear Talk, and that is thanks to our friends over at thehelmetinitiative.org for sending us some helmets to give away. If you're interested in winning a helmet, backtoblading.com/helmet is the link to go to. Put in your information. We're not going to spam you. We're not going to sell your information. We just need an email address and your name so that we can pick somebody at random. One person is going to win a helmet tonight, and we will send that helmet out to them. The way we get a hold of you is with your email. So fill out that information, name, address, or name and email. I don't even need your address. I'll get your address after you win. Hopefully you will win. I'll get your address after you win so that I can mail you that helmet. If you are in the US, I will ask you to check your head and size it up. I have a sizing chart that I send out that helps us figure out what size helmet you need and we will send you a helmet. If you're outside of the US, instead of trying to send a helmet, which can get expensive, and then you're going to need to pay some money to import it through customs, and there might be VAT for items. I don't want to deal with any of that. I'm just going to send you some money so that you can buy a helmet in your local currency. We're able to do this because some people out there are very generous, and they help us with our Helmet Initiative program through our Patreon. Patreon.com/backtoblading is where you can get more information. I have to say, this is not a place where you go for exclusive content. We do post stuff there from time to time. We do post live streams whenever we do that. We do post behind the scene photos when we do new setups or when we're out skating and we want to share something. So it's kind of like a place that I can dump stuff that's interesting to a very few select amount of people. But don't go there expecting to get a huge amount of content for your $1 a month. This is just a way that we can help contribute to the community and get more helmets on people's heads. So patreon.com/backtoblading is where we get some money so that we can ship out these helmets, so that we can send money to people if they're not in the US, so that everybody can get a helmet eventually. And then again, thanks to our friends over at the helmetinitiative.org. They're a great organization that helps put helmets on people's heads. They've sent us a bunch of helmets to give away, and we couldn't do this without their support. Backtoblading.com/helmet to fill out your information. Good luck. Somebody tonight's going to win a helmet, and I'm looking forward to getting a picture of you with your helmet on. It's always refreshing to see all the people out there getting their helmets. All right, before we get started, let's talk a little bit about my current setup. So last time I was skating, I skated big wheels, and I vowed that I was only going to skate big wheels for a while. I'm actually going to skate a little bit of aggressive. It looks like it's going to be fairly warm this weekend, so I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to go out on Saturday, skate some aggressive. I haven't really picked the park yet. Maybe Apex. That sounds like a really fun park. It can get a little crowded sometimes on Saturday mornings. But I'm going to try to find some time to go out there and skate. It's been a while since I've skated aggressive, and I've started to get the itch again. You know, it's one of those things that kind of goes in cycles where sometimes I just want to skate. Other times I want to do grinds. Right now I'm kind of in a grind mood. The warehouse here, I am able to skate, but right now it is a complete mess. I built a shipping table because we're running out of space so that I can consolidate boxes and shipping and stuff like that under one little area. We have backpack boxes that are piling up that I need to move to the warehouse, but the warehouse is full, so I need to build shelves out there. There's a lot to do, so our ramp here is a little busy. Hopefully I'll be able to clean that out. If it is raining this weekend, I will skate the ramp here, but if it is not, I will be skating street. And I will be skating the standard Omni. So these are the standard Omni. This is my new setup. This is a size 44. It is the 295 shell. It is the large shell. This is the large standard Omni frame. This is the aggressive frame that comes stock with the standard Omni. And these are the Chroma 58mm wheels that we use the same profile and the same urethane for the standard stock wheel. So if you bought yourself a pair of Omni, thank you so much. If you got the complete setup, this is how it will come. So it has the aggressive frame, it has the 58-90mm wheels. It would probably have a matching sole plate and matching frame that matches the boot. I'm using the white sole plates from my white skates with the black boots. These are the new black boots. These are the production sign-off black boots. So I am skating these. I love the white on the base with the white frame. I think black wheels would look really nice. I don't have these in black yet. They're on their way. But once I do, I will set it up. But I love the little mix match of white and black. It's really easy to play with those two colors and absence of color, I guess. But these are the standard Omni. So this is the skate that we've been working on forever. I am very, very thrilled to finally be able to announce the team. We announced the team, Friday, I think? And this past weekend, they were out skating their skates. So our team, Stefan Brando, Brian Weiss, and Yandril Silvario, 3 great guys. They are amazing skaters, but they're also really great individuals. They've helped throughout the process. We've been working on this for over a year now, in secret. You know, I haven't been able to tell anybody about them because we wanted to make sure that they got their skates, so that the first time that you see them skating officially as part of the brand, they were on the skates. And the skates came in last week, 2 weeks ago. They got their skates last week, and they were skating them this weekend in Nashville and Bowling Rock, I think. I think that's the place. Bowling, I don't know what it's called. Some place up in Kentucky. I've seen some of the footage. It is incredible what they're able to do. It was that first feeling. So I've been skating these for, 8 months now, 6 months. And I'm, a fine skater, right? I can kind of hold my own at a skate park. I could do most of the obstacles. I can do a lot of different grinds. I feel like I'm a pretty competent skater. Watching professionals, top of their tier, like the best of the best, skate my skates that I designed was a little scary. I'm going to be completely honest. Because they do things that I would never do. Like big gaps. Like I saw a clip of a big gap and I was like, oh my God, like I hope the frames hold up. I hope the boots hold, the feeling. Like my babies, like what are you doing to them? I hope that they hold up. I hope they don't break on you. Like I'm so nervous. They held up just fine. They fit great. The team is loving the skates and I cannot be more excited. They've been working on this project for a year as well. They've been trying to fit these skates and we haven't had the molds yet. So we've only had the mold for the 44. This is the 295, the large skate. We didn't have the molds for the small and the medium, and those are the 2 sizes that they needed. So they just came in. They were just now able to skate the skates. So it's been a great week, hearing all of the feedback from them. Great quote from my friend Stefan Brando, who, as we all kid, if you've ever seen any of his clips or his edits, he loves going big. He loves skating big things, roof gaps and big drops and things like that. He says that he loves grinding again. And that is, that's a testament to how good this sole plate is, right? If Stefan enjoys grinding, first of all, check his temperature. Make sure that he's not sick. Make sure he didn't hit his head. If he needs a helmet, helmetinitiative.org, backtoblading.com/helmet. That's a crazy opinion, but it's true. He loves grinding in these things. They are amazing skates. I cannot wait to get you in there. We're going to have an open house. So the skates are in production now. Take a step back. The skates are in production now. We should have the skate production done end of next week, I think, which is when they start assembling, packing everything up, and starting to ship them out. I don't have that ETA yet, but they said that after they're done with all of the production and all of the assembly and the packing things up, we should have the skates in 25 days. So that puts us in the middle of January, maybe late January. It is Christmas, it is the holidays. It's really hard to predict how shipping is right now. But they say 25 days, so that puts us middle of January, end of January. That is for the US. So shops in the US, if you order direct from a shop in the US, that's when the skates will be here. Outside of the US, a lot of the shops are getting them direct. So we've worked with a bunch of shops around the world. Most of them are getting them direct from the factory. So when they're done in 2 weeks, week and a half, when they're done with production, they will be shipping directly to those shops. That is exciting. So they should get them pretty quickly. You know how, the shops in Southeast Asia get the skates early because, most of our products are made in China or in South Korea. They'll get their skates pretty quickly. We're actually shipping to South Korea, which is funny. They'll get the wheels made in South Korea, shipped to China for assembly, and then shipped back to South Korea so that the shop can have them. But we've got shops all over the world, and we're going to start seeing Omnis pop up probably by the end of December, most likely beginning of January. So what is there to say? So I'm really excited to skate these. These are a great frame for skating flat. It's also a great skating frame for skating anti-rocker. Absolutely love this frame. Haven't skated it in a while. because I've been skating prime frames and I was skating balance 2s. But back on this frame, really excited to skate it. We do have all of the sizes. So I've got these are the 295s, the large skate. We've got the smalls and the mediums. Both Brian and Yandi are on the smalls. Stefan is in the mediums. These are the large. I do have the extra larges here. In case some haters out there were doubting, this is the extra large. So this is 310 internal. Let me open it up for you. 310 millimeters internal. This is our size 11 and 12 skate. And it should fit people all the way up to a size 46. Where's the other lace? 46. I lost my other lace. 46. So 45, 46. About a 300 millimeter or 30 centimeter. 300 millimeter, 30 centimeter. This is how big it is in the inside. It's a big skate. 30 centimeter foot. You can see this liner. This is the big liner. You can see the sizing of the liner. I'll probably zoom in nicely. Maybe. Yeah, you can't really see it. There. There we go. You can see it. So this is the Mondo 286 to 300 US 1112, the UK 10 to 11, and the EU 4546. So this is our bigger liner. If you want to compare, I'll take my liner out of my skates so that you can see the difference. This is my trusty liner. This is the liner that I've been skating for a while. It's been heat molded and it is nice and comfortable in my foot. The rest of the team is skating the stock liners too. They really like them. So if you are interested in trying out a new liner, they will be available aftermarket as well. It's a very nice liner. But this is the large liner. This is our comfort liner. This is the extra large liner. You can see the difference, just a little bit longer. About 10 millimeters, 12 millimeters. Not too crazy. But it is a bit more voluminous on the top if you look at the top. This is the older liner. This is the extra large liner. Bit more voluminous, bit wider on the bottom. Not by much. Should be about 10 millimeters different, 15 millimeters different. They are in production now. We should have them in the middle of January. The team is out skating them. They are getting clips. They should have the edit that they've been filming for sometime in the beginning of the year. I think they have another trip. They're going to be coming out to North Carolina in January to get the final clips, I think. So I'm not sure when the edit's going to hit, but really excited. I've seen, again, some of the clips, and it's just, again, it's amazing to see really good skaters do things on these skates that I'd only dreamed of ever being able to do. Really, really great feeling. Follow them on Instagram. You can go to standardskate.co/team to get more information about the team. We'll be posting more there, posting more on the Instagram as well if you're interested in following the progress. But yeah, it's been exciting. Really, really happy about the production. The factory's been great. We are full steam ahead. So they're working as quickly as they can to get things done. And yeah, we should have good update for everybody on Friday. If you go to standardskate.co/news, you can get the latest and greatest information as well. I think that's it. Oh, and the last thing, a little housekeeping, I guess. I don't have much going on with the Balance brands. We had a shipment come in, so if you're looking for stuff in stores, this is a great time to stock up. A lot of good sales before the holidays. Backpacks are in, all of the latest wheels, frames, soft goods, things like that. But I was very fortunate to find my favorite movie of the year. Was not aware that they made these. I'd been looking since the movie came out, and I didn't know that they were going to make them. But I guess because the movie was such a hit, they decided that they were going to. I got myself, you might have seen this on the Instagram, the Barbie movie, Barbies with her rollerblades. Check that out. This is Rollerblade Barbie. It's not technically rollerblade. I think it's inline skating Barbie, I think they call it. There's no name on it at all. I think there's a few of these Barbie the movie outfits, but this is the rollerblading one. So they're on the beach and they're doing I don't know what they were doing, just doing normal world stuff after they leave Barbie Land. I also got Ken. So I got both Barbie and Ken. They're killing it in their outfits. They have their skates. They're ready to hit Santa Monica, skate up and down. This one is actually based on Margot Robbie, which you can see on the back. This one is not based on Ryan Gosling because the back is just a house. So they don't actually have his face. This is probably just a normal Ken face, which I guess is saying something about Ken. But I think the Margot Robbie one looks pretty good. It looks pretty close to her. Like, this is the doll, and then that's actually her. Doll, her. That's not bad. Anyway, 25 bucks. I'm pretty happy about these. So I've got a bunch of different toys and collectibles with rollerblading that I have here in the warehouse. Put them on my wall, just something that I love to keep around so that I can remember what makes me happy. And making me happy is what I like. So rollerblading makes me happy. And I love the Barbie movie. If you haven't seen it, it's hilarious. You definitely can't go in there taking yourself too seriously. It is just a goof, but one of the funniest movies of the year one of the funniest movies I've seen in a long time. And it's also pretty deep. So yeah. Definitely recommend it if you haven't seen it yet. And the toys are great. I got them at Walmart, 25 bucks. If you pay more than that, you're getting ripped off. And I got them delivered from Walmart. So, you go to Amazon or whatever, you're going to end up paying a lot more. I don't know where they actually are distributed, but you should be able to find them if you want them. And I'm sure they're not going to be around forever. So if it looks like something that you'd be interested in, pick them up. I don't get paid by Mattel for saying this. I'm just a fan. And I think that anytime there's a rollerblade in a toy, we should probably support it because rollerblading is cool. All right. Before we get started, let's do a little bit of questions, I guess. Yeah, we'll do questions. I'm hoping that tonight doesn't go too long. I'm having a harder time, especially with my daughter. Both my daughters are in school, but my youngest daughter has her school is like 25 minutes away from the house, so we have to get up pretty early, and I have to get up at like 6:30. So when I do this and I go late, I don't get enough sleep. And I'm focusing this year on getting more sleep. It hasn't worked out so well, but I'm trying. So I probably won't go super long tonight. The topic doesn't have a ton to talk about, but I would like to answer any questions that you might have. So if you have a question, blading related, anything trick or gear or skating in general, make sure that you tag back to blading. I'm going to scroll to the top of the comments if there are any questions. I would love to answer your questions. Can have anything on your mind. I will come back after our main segment and answer questions as well. But if you have a question, I'm going to scroll all the way up. There are a few questions. Great. Scroll all the way up and see what I can do. Pablo Skates, will Australian orders be sent directly here or from the US? So if you order from balancedisc.com, everything gets shipped from the US. I'm pretty good at diving into orders before they're sent out to confirm that our local shops have the products. If they do, I will recommend to whoever's the customer that, hey, you should order it locally. They have them available. You will save money. Do you want me to cancel? And most of the time people say, yes, I'll cancel. I didn't know that you had them available. So in Australia, we sell through Rampant. If you are interested in picking anything up, go to Rampant. And I think they have an order that just went out. Maybe they just got it this week. So they might have some of the latest stuff. If you're talking about standard, the Omnis are going to go directly to Rampant. So they're going to get them directly. They will probably have them before we do here in the States. So definitely recommend ordering from your shop. If you are outside of the US, you will get the skates faster and they will probably be cheaper. Nickname. 1, do you just use regular socks or some special for skating? 2, can you compare the weight of the Omnis, CJ, and Icons? 3, will Compass 72 with 80 millimeters fit 909s. Okay, Nick, let's start. First, I use thin socks. I don't use anything super special though. I have purchased Rollerblade brand socks. Didn't see any difference. But I like to wear thin socks. I feel like that gives me a little bit more of a responsive ride. I used thin socks when I was playing ice hockey, and I would heat mold my skates around thin socks. So I would make sure that it was perfect for my foot with thin socks. So then when I would go out there and skate, the socks are just there to reduce any friction so that I don't get blisters. It's not really there for padding. So thinner the socks, the better, in my opinion. Let the liners do the padding. And you know, your socks should only be there to keep you from getting blisters, maybe wick away some of the sweat, and that's really about it. Number 2, can you compare the weight of the Omnis, CJs, and Icons? Yes, but I don't think I have my scales here. I can tell you the CJs. You know what? I don't know that I can. I will. Let me see. I might have it written down. I know I weighed everything. Where would it be? Let me check my computer real quick. I weighed things when I was working on it because I was curious. It's not there. Notes. Let's see. Weights. Weight. Skate weights. There we are. No, I don't have them on here. You know, I'm going to have to find them. I had it somewhere, but I don't know where all of my latest info is. Sorry. And I don't have my scale for some reason. I thought I did. Oh, you know what? I was using it outside. That's where it is. I can lift them up and tell you what they feel like. I know that the Omni are fairly light. They're like a Majestic 12 level of lightness. The AG10, if I remember correctly, is kind of similar to the Featherlight or the Carbon Free. These are heavier skates. Usually when you have any skin or leather, the leather will just add weight to it. If this didn't have the leather, it would be a lighter skate. I don't think that the integrated liner adds that much weight. I think the AG10 is this with a removable liner, if I'm not mistaken. So it's probably going to be very similar to this weight. These are definitely heavier than the Omnis. Not by much, though. I think they're fairly even. This is a lighter skate, but it makes sense because this doesn't have a skin. This does have a skin, so that skin adds a little bit of weight. Compare this to the CJs. This is a CJ with the Fitty Fitty frames. These feel a little bit heavier to me, but again, it's very negligible. I think these skates are fairly evenly matched. They're all about the same though. This being a carbon skate with a skin might be a little bit lighter, but not by much. This does have a lot of skin on it. It feels like it's a heavier skin. So this might be a little bit heavier than the CJs, but again, not by much. I don't think that you're going to lose that much weight. I think those are all fairly light skates. So if you're looking for the lightest skates, I think any one of those would probably be a pretty good pick. But if you add skin to your skate, you're going to end up adding more weight. And then Compass 72s with 80 millimeter wheels on feather or on 909s. They will not. I think the 909 has a 2 millimeter recess for the wheels in the sole plate, which isn't quite enough. It needs to be 4 millimeter, I think, which is fairly deep. You can see on mine, these are the XLs. You can see how deep that recess is. That's a pretty deep recess, and then it's got the middle recess. So each of these recesses adds up, and it allows the wheels on a 7... Do I have a wheel? I don't have a frame here. On a 72 millimeter frame, if you ride an 80 millimeter wheel, the 80 millimeter will rise up a little bit over it, and that rise, the wheel will end up going inside the sole plate, which equals a slightly lower ride height than if you were just riding an 80 millimeter frame. I would bet that you could ride 76s on a 72 millimeter frame on a 909. I haven't tried it, but I bet that's as big as you can do. You can always take a Dremel and just grind yourself out a little bit more wheel well if you need it. We used to do that with wish frames before people started adding recesses for the wheels in their sole plates. So taking a Dremel or a rotary tool or whatever, and just grind yourself a little bit more room. Put the frame back on, spin the wheel and see where it's rubbing. Grind it down again, put the frame back on, spin the wheel, see if it's running again. Just keep repeating until it stops rubbing. There's enough plastic there that it won't damage the frame. It won't damage the boot if you shave that much down from the sole plate. And it shouldn't make any difference to the structure of it, but I don't think out of the box it will work. Great questions. Thank you for the questions. Hey Jeff, let's give away 2 helmets. It's a nice super chat. We can give away 2 helmets. Thank you for the super chat. $49. That's perfect for another helmet. So I mean, thanks to Jeff, we will be giving away 2 helmets tonight. So again, if you are in the market for a helmet but you don't have the money for a helmet, backtoblading.com/helmet. I will paste it again. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff Metz, and the whole Metz family for all that you do for rollerblading and life and keeping secrets. Thank you for keeping secrets. But yes, we can do 2 helmets tonight. That's very, very nice of you. Thank you so much. Backtoblading.com/helmet for filling out your information. We will pick 2 people at random tonight to get a helmet, and that will be a really nice treat. Thanks again. Matt C, my Mondo is 272. What size Omni would I need? I have sort of a wider foot. 272, you should be fine in the medium. The internal length of the medium is 282 millimeters. Typically the liner, any liner, let's get another liner. I'll do something other than the Omni real quick. This is the RL1, which is actually a fairly thin liner, so maybe not the best. I don't think I have my calipers here either. I'm less prepared tonight than I usually am. I was doing a little bit of work before the show, so that might be it. Typically, liners are about 5 millimeters thick, 3 to 5 millimeters thick. So if you add that up, 5 millimeters plus 5 millimeters, you're going to get another 10 millimeters, and then your foot fits in there. So the internal length of our shell for the medium is 282 millimeters. Yeah, add 5 and 5, that's 10. So then you subtract 10 from 282, you get to 272. That is where your foot would have distance. You could swap in an Intuition V2 or an Intuition Premium that are a thinner liner and stretch it out to 275, 276 because they're fairly thin liners. Our Comfort liner is a fairly padded liner. You can see it's fairly padded, thick liner. We say that you get around 10 millimeters. It also has a neoprene toe, so you can wiggle a little bit out front, but we say that you get about 10 millimeters of volume loss with our stock Comfort liners. So my skate is 29.5, or this skate is 295. My foot is 28.5, which means that this fits me perfectly, and it does. I don't get any toe bonking, feels great. From a width perspective, these are fairly normal width. I wouldn't say that they are wide. They're much wider than a Majestic 12. They're probably the normal width that you would expect from a normal width skate. If you were looking for something that's wider, you probably want to go with Genesis or a Fifth Element or something like that. But I think that you will be happy with these unless your feet are wide feet. If they're super wide feet, then you probably have to either upsize or find a different skate like the Genesis or the Fifth Element. Great question. Sizing has been a thing, and I really hope that I have more feedback from people once the skates get there, so that I can say, yeah, this is a true size 9 or true size, 27.5 or whatever. So far, the guys that are out there skating them have said that they are the right size. So we measure their feet. That's how we were working on the shells, and they've verified that, yeah, they fit perfectly. So, and that is with the Comfort liners. So I'm really, really happy with the fit. More people out there, more data sources, more feet in our shoes or in our skates. That will help us with a better like understanding of what the sizing is like. Rygar, waiting on those sole files to drop. I was actually hoping to announce those tonight, but my printer jammed and I wasn't able to. So I didn't have a chance to do it. I will do it in the next episode of Gear Talk. 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks is not Christmas, right? Not Christmas. No, it would be the 20th. So the 20th, mark your calendars. We will talk about the sole plates. And that will give us plenty of time because the skates will just start shipping around that time. So we will have an update on the open source sole plate project on the 20th. Thank you for your patience. Brew Mentionator, are the buckles riveted to the boots or screwed on? I keep seeing comments online they are riveted. Here's the story. So we started out with them being riveted because I felt like that was the right call. As soon as we did the announcement, people said that is the wrong call. And the fear that people have is that they will break their buckles and then what? How do you take off a rivet? How do you replace your buckle if it's riveted? It's a whole mess. So we made the decision that we were going to change them to screws. So this is the production sign-off boot. Ugh. And you can see they are screws. Ugh. Oh, are these the rivets? Uh-oh, this is not the production sign-off boot. This better not be. I feel bad. Let me check the other one. This is the large shell, the extra large shell. Okay, I might have the wrong shell. This is the extra large shell. This one has the screws. So this is the way that they're going to come. I might have not the production sign-off. I might have the one before then. But they will definitely have screws. We've modified this cuff mold so that it will fit these T-nuts better. And these are the screws that will come with it. So the buckles are screwed on. We will have replacement buckles available, pairs of buckles or individual buckles. If you just break one buckle, you don't have to buy both buckles. We'll have a single buckle available as well. Because, you know, usually you break buckles because you miss sole tricks or the buckle pops open and you miss something and it breaks. We're going to try to fix that, and we'll have replacement parts available at launch so that you can pick them up if you break something. But I don't think you'll break anything. They've been tested really well, and I think we're in a good place. Ruby, just wanted to say thank you for all the tips. Hubby and I really have improved a lot the past couple of months, but winter is no fun. March will probably be the next time we get out to go out. Yeah, it sucks in the winter. I hate skating in the winter. It's just the old thing, you know? I don't know where you are, but here in North Carolina, you know, it does get down to freezing. We do get snow days. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are just laughing because it's been snowing for months where you are. I'm not used to it, and my knees really hurt in the cold, so I try not to skate outdoors. I would say that you could probably find a roller rink, and those are always a good place to go skate. They're usually well ventilated and heated. You can always go to the skate park too. If there's a skate park near you, I know that they're less available than they once were, but skate parks are great. Even if you just go and you know, you skate around the flat, at least it's a nice warm place that you can skate. Indoor skate parks are kind of hard to find. They don't have any out here. You know, the closest indoor skate park is probably Skate Barn, which is like 2 hours away. I mean, obviously we have a little ramp here, but that is why we built it, because it was so far to get to an indoor park. But hopefully you have a place that you can skate. If not, I mean, you might be able to find like a gym that you could borrow, like a high school gym that sometimes they let people go in there and skate, or you know, covered areas. At least find a place that's dry. I wish you luck. It sucks not being able to skate, but I do appreciate you dialing in and watching the show, and say hi to your husband for me. Chris Pauley, I was the hater. I apologize. Yeah, it's true, but hey, you know, I would never lie to you, Chris. I'm always extremely forthright and don't joke around. So just remember that. What else we got? Questions. All right. Jerry from PA, will you make a size 47 Omni? Well, so that's the question. Is your foot a real size 47? If you measure your foot in centimeters, if you are 37, that's a big foot, 30 centimeters or less, you should fit just fine in our extra large skate. If you are 30.5 centimeters, you should fit fine if you use Intuitions. If you're bigger than that, then yes, we do have a plan to make a double XL skate. It is not going to be first though. The first next shell that we're going to add is the extra small. I figure there are more people out there, and there are more potential people out there who have smaller feet than larger feet. The reason is everybody grows up with smaller feet, so you're always going to go through in the timeline of getting bigger, 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 and some people stop here, some people stop here, you stopped here. That's not a lot of people. So I hope to one day have a double XL skate. So far the response has been great, and I feel like the more people that find out about the skates, as soon as we start shipping and more people are skating them, the more word of mouth we'll have, the more sales that we get, the more money we make, and we're reinvesting everything for the first year, not pulling any salaries, not pulling any money. We're getting money for the team, but I'm not going to take any money. We're not going to do anything except for reinvest into the project, because we want to do the extra small. We want to do the extra large. We want to do a double extra small as well. We want to do 6 shells, 7 shells. Whenever there's demand, I look at where people are buying, and if they're, asking for a larger skate and there are not a lot of options out there, I want to be that option. Long story short, yes, we are going to do double XL. It's going to take a little bit though. I wouldn't count out the XL. I would measure your foot in centimeters and see if you could fit, because you might be able to fit. Good question, and I have a lot of love for big-footed people. I just don't have a lot of money. Nelson, Razors Switch or them 909 for someone trying to get back into blading after 20 years? I think you're talking about the Razors Shift. The Shift is a skate that I don't have on the wall for some reason. But it is a plastic boot. It has an internal shock absorber. It's a good boot. You could probably get them fairly cheap right now. A lot of people have liked those skates. The sizing is a little funky, I've heard, especially around the toe box area. And I don't know that that's something that you can deal with. The 909, universally, everybody loves the fit. They just came out with 2 new shell sizes, which is a proper 42 and a proper 40. So if you're, a size 9 or if you're a size 7, you now have proper shells for them. So they have a 7, an 8, a 9, a 10, like they have actual shells for each shell break. Really great stuff that they're doing there. A little bit more expensive, but not by much, especially if you get some older 909s. You don't get the most recent version, but if you get something from 2022 or beginning of 2023, you can save some money there. Great skates, well made, out the box, you're going to love them. So definitely worth, of the two, I would probably spend the money and get yourself a pair of 909s. Divinity, what's your thoughts on angled soles? So, angled soles, I saw this project last week before, I think. It is a sole plate that has been machined out of a material kind of like UHMW, kind of like Delrin. So it will slide very fast. It will wear very slowly. It is a new sole plate for different boots. So I think initially they have them for the 909s. They might have them for Colts as well. There are a few different sole plates out there. These are unique in that they're machined out of a solid block of material. That provides an interesting compound and structure for skating. The material that they're using slides really nicely. Is what we used to use for grind plates. It's what we currently use for our anti-rocker wheels. It is a great material. We use UHMW. I don't know what they're using, but in that family of ultra-high molecular weight plastics, that is the selling point, that they're really fast, they're really smooth. They use them mostly for conveyor belts, so boxes that hit the same thing over and over, they can't lose their speed. That's what that plastic is designed for. They're $400, and that is crazy to me. I don't know that I could justify anything for $400. I've been wanting to buy myself a pair of Wizard frames. You know, I'm really getting into big wheeling. I love the compass frames. I love skating around town. I really want to get a pair of Wizard frames. I've skated Wizard frames in the past. They were loaners that I borrowed for a while and I sent on to a new person. They were not mine to keep. Wizard frames are $400. It's hard for me to justify spending $400 on a pair of frames. I can't see myself getting that much value out of those. Sole plates, you know, you're going to skate them all the time. If they're great, awesome. You know, I could definitely see investing in quality products. But $400 for sole plates is a lot of money. I don't know what their costs are. It seems high. I think the design is interesting. I'd love to try it out. I think their pitch is that they have an angle on the bottom instead of like an Omni. So our sole plate actually angles in a little bit, so it's lower here, and then it angles up a little bit to the frame, so it's higher here, and then it goes whoosh. It's kind of hard to see, but you can kind of see it, I guess. Yeah, you can kind of see it right there. So you can see that this area, a little bit lower, and then it goes up to here. The reason why we do that is because when you're locking onto a ledge, I can actually grab my 2x4. Oh my God. When you're locking onto a ledge, it's nice to have a little bit less friction. It's hard to see, but maybe that will work. Yeah, that will work. Up there. A little less friction and a little less hitting on it. When you jump on a rail also, you get a little bit of a lip and it'll lock you on a little bit more. Rail, coping, anything like that. If the angle is opposite, so the way that they are with the angled frames, instead of angled this way, they're angled this way, it promotes rolling over more so that you get more on top of the object. I think it's an interesting theory. I'd love to really try it out. I don't really personally have a problem getting over obstacles on sole tricks because I grew up skating these, which basically was an angled sole, right? I mean, it came out this way, and the only way you could get on a sole, on a grind with a sole, is if you got way over it like that. So if it's a training sole plate that helps you learn how to get proper form when doing sole tricks, all for it. Again, $400 is a lot of money, but I'm all for it. I don't know that the angle is going to make that much of a difference day to day for somebody who already gets over on their soles. I haven't skated them. Again, this is just my looking at videos, looking at clips, looking at pictures, and learning from feedback take on it. But I'd love to try them someday. Eventually, in 2 weeks, we will have an open source for sole plates, so people can go out there and make their own sole plates. And I hope that somebody takes that design and plays around with it with an Omni sole plate and creates a sole plate that has a bit of a reverse angle so that they can test it out and then report back and let me know what it feels like. I'm always curious about new technology. I don't have all the answers. I love coming up with new ideas and playing with new ideas. So hopefully it is a big hit and they can continue making them. The price is just a little difficult to justify in my eyes. Stubbs, hope it isn't rude to ask if the Omni's stripe will still look all right with the Faction V1 soles. I want to try both, but don't want them to have huge gaps between the shell and sole. I will say that they are not designed to skate without soles. But if you skated them without soles, I don't know, does Faction make, so these are the Factions. You can see this sole plate is very different than the Omni sole plate. It is more of a flat sole plate. It does not wrap up around the skate as much. There's a few little areas that it does, this area right here, but it is really flat on the bottom, very traditional sole plate, very flat-soled boot. USD Carbon does this, USD 7 does this, and that means that it will fit more boots. This sole plate will fit on the Omni, and because it uses UFS, you can mount using the UFS bolts and sandwich it in. It does have these mounting bolts, and funny enough, we didn't plan this, but funny enough, these mounting bolts do fit ours. So the distance here between these two bolts is compatible, not designed for each other, but it just happens to be compatible. So you could, if you drilled out this hole a little bit to fit our M6 bolts, because they use an M4, if you drilled out the hole a little bit for an M6 bolt, you could use all of our mounting spots with these sole plates. How would it look? I don't know. That's up to you. You know, if you had the base of an Omni color matched to the sole plate, I think it would look really nice, because then you would still have the stripe. It would still be a Omni, but you would have the functionality of a faction sole plate. Looking forward to seeing what people do with it. That is why we did the stripe, so that people can customize it. That's why we're promoting that people swap their sole plates and try new things. We want these to be your skates, so long as you don't change the cuffs. We want these to be your skates and make them look the way that you love them. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. I think, you know, other sole plates on the skates, good experiment. Let's see what works and what works well. Right. More questions. Lots of good questions today. Jerry from PA, are aggressive skates a good option for roller hockey, or do you recommend a different type of skate? We will get to that later. I would say probably not great for roller hockey competitively. If you're just skating around, absolutely. Get the skates that feel good on your feet and go out there and skate. Don't spend a ton of money if you don't have to. Get yourself some compass frames or some bigger wheels so that you have a little bit more speed, because aggressive wheels, small, 60 millimeter at the most, you're going to be, you know, running out of oxygen trying to keep up with people if you're playing. Get yourself some 72s, get yourself 76 or some 80s. That's probably the right sizes for you. Rygar, one of the big Voron printers are down, and I'm in the middle of building another one. I blame Clark for my 3D printed habit. Can't wait for files and shenanigans that will fun. Well, I cannot wait to share with them. We'll probably share with the community a few days before this announcement, and yeah, I'll have some sample files for you to download so that you can play with it. But it's hard. You prepare yourself. It's not like making a frame. Making a sole plate is no joke. There's a lot of angles. You need to learn lofts. You need to learn different carving techniques to make a sole plate. You probably know more than I ever did. I don't know much, and it took me months to figure out how to make this sole plate, and then the factory cleaned it up for me. But hey, I mean, if you've got a printer and you've got some time and you got some ideas, I welcome it. I want to see what other people come up with, because it's important that we have a community, that we have a group that can build stuff for their skates. That's ownership. We're not skating other people's skates, we're skating our skates. Dreaded roller, can I order a single prime core? I lost one frame off of my motorcycle a few weeks back. Ordered a developer set, but now I still have a single core. Absolutely. Send me an email, law@balancedisc.com. There's a contact form on balancedisc.com as well. And send me an email. Let me know what you need. I'll help you out. I'm sorry about that. Jordan Skates, have you heard any fit feedback for a 275 in medium with comfort liner? I think Stefan is 275. I haven't had him measure his foot recently. He says he's a true size 9. And he's skated Colts for a while, and they fit perfectly. I can ask him to step on a ruler and let me know, but I don't know offhand. I would say they still fit fine. I mean, 10 millimeters, 8 millimeters. You might get a toe bunk with comfort liners. They're not as thin as Intuitions. I would still, if you're sweating liners, I would get Intuitions if you're into that performance. But Yeah, adding the heel raise in there, you probably get a few millimeters that you could squeak out. Let me see if I can get his foot measurement for you, and I'll have that for you next time. Dreaded Roller grabs some Baratos from Undersole UK. They have 5-wheel frame wall. They're fun. I've seen a few of those. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many Wizard frames out there. I want to skate the 4x90 or 4x100s again, and I really loved the Wizard NR100s. I need to just save up. I mean, those are the frames for me. I want to do 4x100s again, and I know that there's a few others out there that do something similar. I don't know that there's anything that does it like the NR100. Still, I mean, I don't know. It's expensive. I'm not cheap, mind you. I'm not cheap. I spend stupid money on things, but it's just hard to justify right now. You know, I got skates to make. I got all the other things. A lot going on. All right, 2 more questions. Stubbs, I want to figure out how to get one of the standard t-shirt graphics painted on the back of the cuff to match the stripe accent. Will look so cool. I bet what you could do, instead of painting it, I bet what you could do is do a vinyl transfer. So grab the image from, the shirt from the website, image trace it, and then put it on a cutout, resize it so that it'll fit on the back of the cuff, put it on a cutout, and then use a Cricut machine or something, transfer it on, and then you'll have it. Or you could do the reverse, transfer it on and basically create a stencil and then paint it in. I think that would be really cool. Anyway, a lot of great questions. So let's talk about this box. So I am a hockey player. I've played hockey since I was 12, even though I grew up in California, where hockey was not a big thing back in the 80s. I guess it was the 80s. Jesus Christ, I'm old. I think I did start skating in the 80s. No, was it? Yeah, it was like 89 probably I started skating. Even earlier. Jesus, so old. Yes, hockey in California was different. I think it was more popular in Southern California. We don't really have much in Northern California. The San Jose Sharks didn't start playing until 93, I think, is when they started. I know I went to a few of the exhibition games to see them start playing, but we didn't have a hockey team in Northern California. There was the Kings down in LA, and the Ducks weren't there, of course. That was probably it. So it was just the Kings, and that was it. And it was hard to get hockey news up there. The internet wasn't really a thing. You would get the hockey news. I would subscribe to this newspaper that I don't know if it came from Canada or what, but just so that I could stay connected to hockey. Like, I loved hockey. And I played hockey all throughout my childhood. I played midget. I played Bantam. I played midget. I played juniors. I played at San Jose State for a while. And after, leaving San Jose and moving to Southern California to really do the skating thing full time with 50-50 and ASA judging and things like that, I stopped playing competitively. I did play at a pickup league, and I played at kind of a adult league for a while, off and on in Southern California, but it was a little difficult to do. And it's kind of been a thing that has been part of my life for since then. I think there's been maybe a handful of years that I haven't played, and this is one of those stretches. So when I started aggressive skating again back in 2017, I actually started skating because I wanted to get back in shape for playing hockey. I was really competitive 2014, 2015, 2016. And in 2017, my kids started going to school. I had a difficult time getting to the rink during the week. I had a difficult time playing night games during the week and then waking up early in the morning to get the kids to school. So it was more difficult for me to find time to skate. So I went to my local skate shop. Thankfully, I had one. I didn't know how lucky I was, and picked up a pair of skates. I got some razors. What were they? I don't remember what they were called. The SL3s, I think. They were the white ones with the black. You can see them on old Instagrams. Anyway, I got those. I put on 50/50 frames, riding flat with Rossi's wheels, I think, and I went out and skated the skate park, and I was hooked. And I think I went back to finish out the season, but then the next season of ice hockey, I stopped playing. And I've just been doing aggressive skating ever since. I haven't really hit the ice. I think I've skated a couple of times. Went to a couple open ice and just played around, sticking puck and stuff. And then last year, my wife and I started getting into it. We went out and figure skated. She was getting into figure skating, and I would go and bring my skates out, and I would have a great time skating. Never lost the passion of hockey, but it was definitely less of a thing that I was interested in because I love aggressive skating. Aggressive is what I look forward to. When I think of rollerblading, that's what I think of doing. I love the big wheels and everything, but for me, at least in this period of my life, something just fell in the background and I just got very startled. How did it fall? There's nothing in it. It's been sitting there for all day and it just decided to fall. Anyway, I want to get back into playing hockey, and I've been talking about it a lot with my friend Joey. Joey is one of the guys at Marsblades. He is really big into rollerblading and fit and gear and things like that. So we talk a lot about things like that and nerd out about skating things. Joey just had a kid, his second kid. Huge congratulations to the McGarry family. Hope that everything is going smoothly up there. But before he had a kid, he reviewed some skates. And we'd been talking about hockey and how I miss playing hockey, but I definitely can't find the time to go out and play hockey. And he said, well, you know what? You could just get some skates and go out and play hockey. There's no reason you need to go to the ice. And I said, you know what? You're right. He's reviewed some skates, and I was really interested in his review. And he said, you know what? You should try them. Even if they're not for you, they are so different, you got to give them a shot. So I did. I picked them up, and I'm going to go out there and skate probably next weekend. Probably not this weekend, but probably next weekend on these new skates. Very excited for them. Got them on sale. Didn't spend a ton of money, but I'm still very excited for them. These are the Marsblades 01s, I think they're called. I will open them up for you. Ooh, oh, look at this crazy thing. All right, so this is the Marsblades 01. Also comes with another skate, and it also comes with this little bag of goodies that we will go through and we will look at. I didn't realize when I posted this, by the way, on the Instagram, I didn't realize that the name was on the side of the box, and everybody figured it out. So I felt very stupid, but people were posting comments, and that's good for engagement. So I guess it's okay. But this is the skate. This is what was in there. These are the Marsblades 01s. I don't know much about the versions, but I think these are the elites. These are like the higher end version of these skates. They are a hockey skate. You know, if you look at it, they look like a hockey skate. They've got the hard toe. They've got the wrap with the laces and the leather. The support down below. I don't know that this is carbon or if this is just a material. It doesn't look like carbon. It's just a material that looks kind of carbon fibery. Definitely isn't a carbon, actual carbon, because it's kind of flexy. No, it's not that flexy. Maybe it is carbon. It might be carbon. It's a little cheap for carbon. I think there's like $300. Inside, I don't know what this thing is. Just a little carry something. I don't know. I've never seen one of these before. Put it on your nose, earring, I don't know. If you know what these are, let me know in the comments. On the inside, there's not much to write home about. Typical hockey skate. It has a really big tongue, padded tongue, nice soft material. That's where most of the comfort comes from. There is an insole. Doesn't feel like there's much going on in there. I guess I could take it off, yeah. Just a really thin insole, nothing crazy. This is the sort of thing that you'd want to get those super feet for. It is heat moldable, so I will heat mold these. The sizing was a bit tricky. These are a size 9D, which I'm assuming is the width, but it is also a 10.5 44.5 EU, which is my length. So I don't know where the 9 comes from. I don't know if that is just a screw with you number or what. The whole sizing chart on the website was very complicated. Confident that I got the right size, but it is very strange that they would put 9D on it and then put 10.5 right below it. I don't understand that. But the selling point of these skates is not the top. This is just a typical hockey boot. The selling point is the bottom. So check this crazy thing out. First of all, look at the length of these laces. Check this crazy thing out. So this is their flow motion frame. So this isn't a traditional hockey frame. So I do have a few skates here that I can show you that's like a traditional hockey frame. This is one that I skated a couple years back. This is the Rain hockey skate from Powerslide. It is a 3-wheel skate. I think these are 90s or they're 100s. These are 100s. These are 100 millimeter frames, wheels. Usually you'll skate something a little smaller, 80 millimeter, 76. These are 100s. But you can see it's just a normal metal frame. I think this is a, looks like it's an extruded frame that's machined, it's not cast. So it's nice and rigid, nice and strong and responsive. Short wheelbase, typical 230, I think, 231 on this. So it's very, very skinny, very short. But this is a standard hockey skate. So you'll have a nice upper, normal looking boot, and then you get just a aluminum frame that mounts to the bottom. In the 90s, they had this crazy thing. Who remembers these? So these are called the V form. So if you look at you can see the logo in the back, the V. These are the V form skates. So these were designed for hockey. You can see it's still the same boot. The boot hasn't changed over the years. It's same boot, big puffy tongue, lots of laces, the 2 leather that goes around the front, same style of boot. But this frame is crazy. Who would have thought this was a good idea? Why do you need a V? Like a wheel is already a V, right? I mean, it's kind of a bullet profile. It doesn't really make a difference if you put it like this. I don't know what this was going to accomplish. Same wheelbase or so. It's about 240, I think. Maybe the wheels overlap a little bit. Maybe that's the selling point. I honestly don't know. Makes no sense, but this is a crazy, crazy frame setup. These were on the beach roller hockey circuit. So they sponsored the beach roller hockey and everybody had to wear these. Very non-traditional frame, but it is definitely a thing that used to happen. This is different. So not only does it have the plastic frame on the bottom versus a metal frame, but the middle, you can see this little bushing in the middle. The way that this system works is this frame is mounted in this chassis, this holder, but there's a bit of a rocker. Instead of with the wheels, there's a bit of a rocker with the frame. So as you're skating, and this is something that hockey players are probably one of the few disciplines for inline skating that need this. As you're doing tight carves and turns and quick starts and stops, you want as much surface area as possible to touch the surface, to touch the ground. So what this frame does is it actually rockers inside. You can kind of see it move a little bit. I'll see if I can push it down. It's hard because it's not supposed to just be visibly rockering. But as I'm skating, 160 pounds of me pushing hard into a turn, you should be able to see it. You can probably see it a little bit. It will rocker, you can kind of feel it there. It will rocker back and forth, kind of like you can see the logo. This logo demonstrates it more. when you're carving, the frame, the wheels should stay stuck on the ground. So as I'm carving, instead of lifting up on my heels, instead of getting up on my toes while doing turns, this should keep me stuck to the ground so that all 4 wheels are touching. Is it a gimmick? I don't know. I wanted a pair of skates that I could go out there and just skate hard. I went out to Raleigh a few weeks ago, maybe a month and a half ago, with my friend Chris, and we skated the DIY, which is a converted hockey rink, roller hockey rink, and I had a great time just skating really fast. I want to skate really fast, and having a hockey setup is a great opportunity for me to do that. I have a little roller hockey rink that I can go skate. I'm going to bring these out there with a puck and a stick and a helmet, of course, and go out there and skate and try them out and see what they feel like. I'm really interested to see if I can do some tight turns and not lose my edge. Losing an edge, there's really no edge here. When you have a hockey skate, ice hockey skate, the bottom of the blade is actually cut with a convex. So there's 2 blades. There's a single piece of steel, and then there's 2 blades, and the convex inside, or concave, I guess, concave cut, which creates 2 edges, and that's when you're able to skate and do really quick carves. You get on that outside edge. The inside edge is very similar to the outside edge and inside edge here, but technically there's no outside edge or inside edge. You're still on a wheel. You're on the outside, I guess, side of the wheel and the outside side of the wheel, but it would be as if there were 2 sets of wheels. So if you had 2 frames right next to each other, you would have the outside set of wheels and the inside set of wheels. That's how it is with a metal hockey skate, so a hockey skate that you're on the ice. And when you lose an edge, it's when you're skating really hard and you turn and you don't have the muscle strength to push down hard and dig into the ice, or your blades aren't sharp enough, and maybe the concave isn't deep enough, that you lose the edge and you just wash out. Really curious to see how fast I can go with these and still maintain an edge, because there is no better feeling in hockey than blasting into the corner and just crossover, and just flying out of the corner, going up the ice. I want to see if I can do that. I want to see if I can do start stops. I want to see if I could do quick power turns and still maintain my edge. And that's exactly what this skate is designed for. They do come with 76 millimeter wheels. These are revision static 76 millimeter wheels. I don't know who makes these. They are 7682A. They're listed as hard. I don't know from an aggressive perspective if 82 is hard, but comparing them to these prime wheels, these are 74A. So these are 76A? No, what did I say? Yes, 82A. So these are 82A labeled as hard. These are 74A, right? Yeah, 74A. So these are very, very soft. Depending on where I skate, this might be too hard, and I might slip out because you want a slightly grippier wheel. Softer wheel is going to be a little bit grippier. I'm looking forward to, if these fit me and if they feel good and I'm enjoying it, I'm looking forward to trying some of the other wheels that roller hockey has to offer. There's a whole industry of roller hockey wheels. They've been progressing wheel technology. You think aggressive has gone far with wheel technology, which we haven't. The speed skating is cream of the crop, the best of the best, and they can justify, $20 per wheel investments. Roller hockey's right behind them. They have some crazy wheels, so I really want to give some of their wheels a shot. They recommend with the Marsblade for normal skating, you go flat 76s. If you want to step it up a little bit, you put a 72 in the front, so you get a 2 mil rocker in the toe, and then you get the 3 flat in the rear. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll probably bring a 72 millimeter wheel. I only have 85. I don't have anything that's softer than 85. I'm sure it'll be fine though, especially 82 to 85 isn't going to be a huge difference. But I'll bring some 72s, maybe I can try them out. These bearings that came with them are kind of crap, so I might upgrade those to the Swiss, the Compass Swiss that we make. But I'm really excited. It's going to be a really fun experiment. I've never really spent time with any sort of a rockering, shock-absorbing frame. I don't know what this is going to feel like, but I feel like I'm a pretty competent skater and I'm a pretty competent ice skater. So if it's anything familiar and something that I can really appreciate, I might not miss going to hockey. It's that damn Connor Bedard. The guy is so good. And watching him skate and watching him play, like I just want to go out there and play again. And I wish I had more hours in the day because hockey is a great sport. And hopefully I'll be able to get some of that out of me with these skates. Won't be a review. I'm out of the review business, but I am looking forward to skating them. I'll probably do a video just to document what I liked and what I didn't like. These skates look crazy, but I am here for it. I want to see what it's all about, if it is a gimmick or if it is the real deal. Have you ever played roller hockey? I think a lot of us grew up playing roller hockey. That was our entryway to rollerblading. So if you have, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you used to do. What was your setup for rollerblading? I know when I started, it was TRS, or no, it was Zetra 303s. And I didn't do I didn't have any roller hockey skates. I thought that was, because I was a hockey player, I thought, well, why would anybody want to play roller hockey? Ice skating is the real thing. You got to play on ice. Why would anybody spend money getting roller hockey skates? And some people did. I used to have, actually I brought these, I didn't get to it, but this was my roller hockey setup forever. I would skate, I don't know if I was on Thrones or, no, I think I was on TRS. So I was on the rollerblade TRS. Not the TRS, they were the TRS. Yeah, the gray ones when they first came out with the TRS back in 2001. And these were the first frames, the first hockey setup that I used. This is a Solomon FSK frame and it is UFS. So it mounts directly onto your skates, just like any aggressive frame. Uses the two bolt system, 167 millimeters from front to back. It is a classic frame. It is a high-low frame. So these wheels are 80 millimeters. These wheels are 76 millimeters. Why would you want that? Well, when you're skating hard and you're striding and you're trying to catch somebody, you want smaller wheels, you're on your toes, you want quicker acceleration. So a smaller wheel will give you quicker acceleration. That's why skating aggressive, you want like a 56 millimeter wheel when you're skating mini ramp. But if you're skating, distance or you're trying to get top speed, you want something 60 millimeter, 65 millimeter. If you're on your heels, you want more coast. So you want a bigger wheel, and the bigger wheels, the 80 millimeter, will give you more coast. So when you're skating, you're good, and then you kind of sit back a little bit, you're coasting on your heels, you're waiting for the play to mature. You get on your heels, you're on the 80s. That was the whole concept behind this frame. Absolutely love this idea. I should probably set these up with some compass. We make 76s and 80s, so set these up with some compass and go out there and give them a try with some Omni. I think that would be a really fun video too. But think about it. I mean, Solomon made these. It's a single side frame, so it's not a universal like flip frame. It's asymmetrical. So smaller wheels in the front, bigger wheels in the back. Absolutely love it. Solomon, they were so good at their stuff. Whatever they did, people were chasing them forever, trying to make. They even have internal arches in a metal frame. Who does that now? Nobody. He does that. So good. Anyway, FSK frames. It is 10:27. I'm going to get some water and then I will take some more questions. If you have any questions, tag back to Blade. I'm going to scroll through and see if I can get to the rest of the questions. I'm going to get out of here. All right. Matt C, I'm a wide 272. What size Omni would I need? I think we talked to you already. But yeah, you would need the medium. It is for up to size 272, so you should be just fine. It should be perfect for you. Jace Bros, I used to think I was going to be in the RHI. I mean, weirder things have happened. I was, never good enough to play at that level. I was on a like an all-star team when I was a kid in Bantam, I think. So when I was 15, maybe, and I never played. I played so much better in beer league recently than I did back in those days. But I guess at that time I was really good, and yeah, I loved playing. I was so into it. But things are different now. Very different. I'm sorry that you didn't make it. I'm assuming you didn't make it. DJ915, it might be just prevent the skate from being squished. Oh yes, this thing. It might be that. I don't know. It's so weird. Good question. Who knows? Right, scrolling. Jace Bros, I grew up playing roller hockey. I got into aggressive skating using my hockey skates and then got Rossi's Moscows for aggressive. That's the story. That's what most people did. I think we all just got rollerblades. We all just wanted to play, and then, either we, as our background, were playing ice hockey to start, or we were playing roller hockey because that's what all the local kids were doing, and everybody was playing roller hockey. And then one kid decides that after hockey you're going to want to jump some stairs, or skate fast and kick a wall or something like that. And then it's like, whoa, you can do more on rollerblades than just skate. And that's when the light bulb goes off and you stop playing hockey and you start doing aggressive. And that was us. I'm sure that was a lot of people. One thing I didn't do is I didn't open this this bag. Let me see what's in this bag. So this was in the box. It's more padded than it should be, so I don't know what's in here that shouldn't have just been installed in the skate. If it's a tool or something, it's a little big for a tool. Oh, hey, look at this. It has extra wheels, so it has the 72s in there. How awesome. So now I have matching 72 millimeter wheels. I will set these up and I will bring them out. No extra bearings. I don't know why they didn't make them with bearings, but two 72 millimeter wheels. That's nice. Nice of them. How nice of them. Here's the manual. I will read all about the new skates. I will watch some YouTube videos likely. It also has a wrench, not a Senate wrench, not a rollerblade wrench, but a Marsblade wrench. And check it out, a Y tool, which is very cool. Looks like, I don't know what bolts it uses. Their side is standard M4. Yep, standard M4. I don't know what this big, thick one is. It's like an M6. But I don't know where I would... Oh, it goes down here. So I can tighten, instead of mounting the frame, I can tighten or loosen this bushing, I guess, if the bushing breaks or wears out. And then I bet the wrench is for the other thing. And then this little one, I don't know what this one's for. Oh, this is for this, very smart. So it's for this little thing right here. Very smart tool. I want to design a tool. I like this design. I think something like this would be really cool for standard. I think we need our own tool. It'll be a while, but it's on my list. Very nice. I like that. All right. Eric Lopez, how did you go about selecting the standard team? I had Yandi pegged to join. It was pretty organic, actually. I'd worked with Stefan for a long time. We did a lot of work with Chroma together. He was already skating for 50/50. He did the art design for Compass. And I told him early on that I wanted to make a skate. And he was probably the first person that got involved. And we were working on what the skate would look like. We went down a few routes. He was actually involved before it was a plastic shell. It was a carbon shell to start with. And he was just down to support. Like, he thought that, we've worked together for years, and he was, knows that I don't mess around. Like, if I say that I'm going to do something, I do it, which is pretty rare in rollerblading. I actually follow through. and I don't bullshit people. So he was like, this guy I can actually get things done with. And I think that there's nothing worse than throwing energy into a project just for the project to end up fizzling out and nothing happening. And I think he's been burned more times than most, and knew that if I was going to do something, I would actually do it. So I think he jumped on it early on. Obviously, great skater too. So it's, it's perfect for me because I don't only get a really smart dude who's good at design, but I also got a crazy great skater that can help me build these skates, but then also go out there and show them in their peak form. Yandy, he was on Fitty Fitty, he was on Chroma. We approached him early. I think he was on Razors at the time. We don't want to approach people who are on teams, but I think he had his, he left Razors. I think it was around that time. And he was looking for a skate, and he reached out, and, as we do, we just talked about things. I said, hey, would you be at all interested in doing this thing? We don't have, anything really designed yet, but we want to do this thing. And, he's probably my favorite skater. Like, without a doubt, just the passion that he brings to skating is second to none. He's incredibly good at it. I knew that with Stefan and Yandy on the team, we would move places. Like, those two guys, from a professional definition, like, they get things done and they know what they're here for. I've worked with skaters in the past where they don't have a good understanding of what a professional skater does. And I'm not in a position to explain it, but there's a lot more to it than just going out there and skating and posting to Instagram, These two are active in the community. They're always a positive, image. They go to local skating events, and I mean, they're representing the brand, and I love that about them. Brian was the last person that joined, and I didn't know Brian before they introduced me. I think Stefan was a big fan of Brian's for years, and he knew that Brian wasn't super happy at Razors. I think he wanted to do something new, and that might be the only one that we approached who was he was still on Razors when we approached him. I don't know what the timing was, if he was already planning on leaving or if he had left, but it was very close to that time. And I don't think it was slightly before Bitter Cold. So it was probably, it was this year. I don't think it was December of last year. It might have been. It might have been. He got involved right when we had stuff already. So we had designed the skate, like the just very rough design of things. And he got involved when we were working on the sole plate. The sole plate was around Christmas. So that was my Christmas project. So Brian probably got involved November, maybe October of last year. And, Yandy and Stefan and I were working on it since like spring of last year. So it's been a while. And Brian, just kind of fit right in. Again, super passionate dude. We align really closely on our work ethic, and I love his skating. I think between the three of them, they kind of fill every void. We've got hammers, we've got technical, we've got flow, we've got, infinite style. Like, it's a really strong team. And most importantly, they are all professional. Like, they know what it takes to be a professional skater. They are active in the community. They go out there and they get things done. And this weekend was amazing to watch. I saw a few of the clips that they sent over. They were just there to work. And it was great. First time that I've ever seen anybody skate our skates. And that was something else. Very emotional, very surreal. I think I posted this on the Slack where I had the epiphany that for the last 6 months, I've been skating my skates because I'm the only one with them, right? This has been my project. We haven't really announced anything until October was when we did the big, the reveal and everything. It was my skates. I was the only one with them. They only fit my feet. Now they're everyone's skates. They are available in 4 shell sizes. They will fit a variety of different feet. We sell them with our liners or linerless, so you can put whatever liners you want in there. So anybody can skate our skates. That is a big change. It's no longer my project. It's out there. It's everybody's. And seeing amazing skaters go out there on our skates and just destroy it, and then getting the feedback, because they've been working on this project for, a year and a half, and they haven't been able to skate the skates. And for them to tell me that they are loving the skates is just an amazing experience. So, yeah, that was the 3, and I think we have more coming. So we've been working with a bunch of different skaters. The next step, Brian, Stefan, and Yandi have been involved for, over a year. Everybody else, we've talked to a few people that we want to flow skates to and maybe do some like AM team level support. I don't want anybody on the team that hasn't skated the skates yet, So we have a few that we're going to get early skates so that we can send them out, as soon as production's done, so that they can test them out and see what they think. If they like them, then we'll talk. But we do have plans for a few more skaters. Probably next year. I don't think we'll announce anything this year, but probably next year we'll have a few more announcements. Thanks for all the support, by the way. That was, it was really humbling to see everybody, like the post that we did on Friday with, the team. It means a lot because, these guys have been working so hard and they haven't been able to tell anybody. They don't have skates that they could share, and even if they could, they couldn't share them until they were announced as a team. And we had so many delays with the shells being made wrong, with a month of just no communication, and the shells just kind of being in limbo. And these guys are trying to scrape together skates that they work, but they're not passionate about, They finally got to skate their skates, and that's just, it's amazing. So again, thanks for all the support, and they really appreciate it. They've told me so much that this community is just incredible. So we're really looking forward to the future of Standard. It's the thing that I've been most excited about in a long time. It's kind of my lifelong dream to do this skate company, and this will be like my major project of probably of my life. To be honest, the biggest thing that I do. I've done a lot of businesses, I've done a lot of side projects, and obviously family is, the biggest thing that I've done is have 2 amazing daughters, but this is going to be the big thing. So thanks everybody for the support. Did I miss anything? I think I One question, and then I'll jump out of here. Mr. Jaws 96, I have a set of 110 Kaiser big wheel frames. Would they mount on your Omni boot? Absolutely. So those are the Trimax. They will fit on any skate that is UFS. So if you look at the bottom of your skates, if they have 2 mounting points, these are the UFS mounts. These are 167 millimeters from one to the other. They're 3 millimeters tall, 20 millimeters in diameter. And then this channel should be around 40 millimeters, 41 millimeters, so that your frame fits in there. If your frames are UFS, they will fit on these boots. They'll fit on these boots. They'll fit on these boots. Well, probably. Rollerblade Blank is a little loose with the UFS specs, but they should fit on those boots. What else do I have this boot only right now? They'll fit on these boots. You can see all of these have the same mounting. So if you have a pair of UFS skates, they will fit on your boots. And then you can go out there and skate big wheels, and then when you're done, pop off the frames, put your aggressive frames back on, and go skate. The only tip that I have when you're jumping between wheel sizes, if you start the day in aggressive, and then you go to big wheels, you'll be fine. If you start the day with big wheels, and then you go to aggressive, you're going to hate life, because you're not going to be used to how slow aggressive wheels are after doing big wheels. It is a horrible feeling, like you are walking in mud. Even if you're riding 60s, it is like you're walking in mud. So start with aggressive skating and then go to big wheels. Never the opposite. Beer before liquor, never sicker, or whatever the thing is. It's not actually true, but it's kind of true. So big wheels before little wheels, you'll be fine. Whatever. Big wheels first is a bad idea. Start with aggressive and then go to big wheels. I'll make a limerick out of it someday. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining me tonight. This was a lot of fun. 10:45, not bad, did pretty good. Sorry about the beginning. Things got screwed up with Chrome and the YouTube app, but we are here, we are out here. Hope everything is going great where you are. Hope you're able to go out there and skate this weekend. It's starting to get cold here in North Carolina, but I am ready for it. I'm going to bundle up, go out there and hopefully do some aggressive, maybe just do some big wheel, maybe try out these new hockey skates. Depends on what I feel like, but I do plan on going out there and skating on Saturday. Maybe I'll do aggressive here in the warehouse. I hate doing aggressive and falling in the cold. My hands hurt, my knees hurt, my back hurts. Might just go out there and do the hockey outside and then clean out the warehouse so that I can do some aggressive here. Might live stream it. That would be fun. I haven't done a live stream here in a while. Anyway, I hope that you are able to go out there and skate. Hope you have a great week. We'll be back in 2 weeks, and I'll see you then.